I have not eaten any animal products since 2010. That's no meat, dairy, eggs, fish, honey, gelatin, anything. For all of those 15 years, there have been people telling me that my health is going to fail at any moment. And yet, I keep feeling good. In fact, I switched to a plant-based diet largely in order to achieve maximum health. But could they be right? Maybe my calcium-depleted bones are about to break under the weight of my useless, flabby, protein-depleted muscle fibers. I'm well aware of the impact of bias and placebo. So instead of just talking about how I feel, let's take a look at some facts. We should all be getting comprehensive blood work done periodically, and I do it every few years. Here are my results in 2025. So starting with the lipid panel. For cholesterol, anything under 239 milligrams per deciliter is considered healthy. I'm at 146, so pretty low cholesterol. And the science and the research is very contradictory in a lot of aspects of nutrition, but one thing that is pretty clear in the research is that if you want low cholesterol, eat a whole foods, plant-based diet. It's pretty simple. Triglycerides. Normal is considered under 500 milligrams per deciliter. Optimal is under 100. I'm at 99. It counts. HDL, the good cholesterol. Normal is above 40. I'm at 44. LDL, the bad cholesterol. Normal is anywhere under 159 and optimal is below 100. I got 82. To give you some context about my diet specifically, because plant-based is just a very broad category. You can eat donuts and potato chips all day and still be plant-based, but not very healthy. I'm not at the extreme end of like counting all my macros or making sure I don't eat any oil or only having whole foods, but I'm not a junk food vegan either. I mostly don't eat until noon or later, just because my body naturally is not hungry until that time. And then after that, might have a smoothie, might have, something for lunch, might be a burger, vegetable burger or something like that. For dinners, I often have a big meal. Might be a curry. I like to cook. It could be a lot of things, but generally, I'd say on the healthier side, but not like oil-free, not raw, not anything that I would consider extreme like that, though extreme is of course relative. I also like to stay fit, go running, hiking, swimming, do some light lifting, some calisthenics, but I'm not someone with a regular gym habit trying to get swole, get big. We can quickly scroll through the metabolic panel with sodium, potassium, calcium, all that stuff was green and looking good. Same with the blood count, with the hemoglobin and the other stuff. Now the hemoglobin A1C is kind of an interesting measure. Apparently it measures your average blood sugar levels, glucose, over the past 2 or 3 months. And a normal and healthy value is anywhere under 5.7%. Mine was 5.2%. Oh gosh, why am I so bad at aiming? Dude, I am rusty. I am not good at this game right now. I am surrounded by branches, like big branches, little branches, tiny branches. Everything is going to stop this disc unless I can pull off some magic. That was terrible. I also lost a disc a couple holes back. Oh shit. That was pretty frustrating. Anyway, where was I? Okay, magnesium, normal, 2.2. Ferritin, which is related somehow to iron. Don't ask me to explain it. I don't fully understand it. But the normal range is 35 to 463, dispensing with the unit of measurement, and I'm at 86. This is a good time to say that I do take a daily multivitamin. I take one of those chewables, the gummies, because they're more enjoyable than swallowing a pill. I used to not take a multivitamin. I used to think I should be able to get everything I need from natural food sources, which, you know, isn't ideal, of course, but then I became B12 deficient. So B12 is one thing that is difficult to get for a vegan in just normal food sources, and it's not necessarily a weak point of veganism itself or the plant-based diet, because meat is in itself B12 fortified. So the farm animals are actually given B12 because their diets themselves are divorced from nature enough that they're not getting the B12 that they need. So you can either like take the B12 supplement through the body of another animal, or you can just take it yourself. And B12 is produced by bacteria. So in a natural environment, say you're drinking stream water, you might get giardia or something from it or another disease, but you'll also be getting B12 because there's bacteria in that natural water source producing B12. So you would be getting that even if you were on a plant-based diet as a primal person out in nature. You would also be exposing yourself to, you know, infectious diseases. So there's a good reason that we sterilize our water, but because of that, we need B12. And I learned that after about 5 years of being vegan. I started feeling like my memory was going, like I wasn't motivated to do anything. I didn't have very much energy. I had brain fog, and I ended up getting myself checked out, had a comprehensive blood panel taken, and I was quite low in B12. So I started taking supplements, and I've taken supplements ever since, and that multivitamin has B12 in it. Fly free, my disc, fly free. So healthy B12 range is 232 to 946. I'm at 738 now, solid on my B12. Vitamin D is another one that a lot of people, plant-based and otherwise, are low in, especially in my area. It's a sunny day today, but we get a lot of cloudy days here in the Portland, Oregon area. And vitamin D is produced by our body with exposure to sunlight. So you can get it that way, or you can get it through supplementation. And my vitamin D was the only thing flagged in this current test as somewhat low. It's still in the healthy range, but it's on the lower end of healthy. So my doctor recommended some vitamin D supplementation. I really tried to get my testosterone tested as well because I thought it would be interesting for this video. There's a lot of misconceptions out there about masculinity and veganism and soy as well. Some people think that soy milk or tofu, soy products, will raise your estrogen levels, lower your testosterone, which has been shown to be untrue. It's been debunked. And quickly speaking about that, yes, there is plant-based estrogen in soy, but it's actually a different molecular structure than mammalian estrogen. It's not processed by the body in the same way. It doesn't actually raise your hormonal estrogen. It actually can lower the impact of estrogen on your cells because your cells can take up this plant-based estrogen that doesn't actually have an effect. That was almost good. Leaving less room for your mammalian estrogen to be absorbed. And that's why, because estrogen can cause breast cancer, too much estrogen can raise the chances of breast cancer. That's why women who consume soy have lower rates of breast cancer, because they're lowering the impact of their own estrogen on their bodies. But there's, as far as I know, been shown to be no adverse health effects of consuming soy products. And I like soy milk. That is my preferred milk alternative. What was I going with that? What was I doing? Testosterone. I really tried to get my testosterone tested, but my doctor said they don't test that unless there's a reason to, unless I'm having symptoms. And I'm not having symptoms of low testosterone, so they wouldn't test it. But I'm sure I can pay for a test on my own if this video somehow blows up and y'all want to know my testosterone levels. Comment that down below. So that's it for the blood panel, but let's also get some blood pressure and heart rate results, since we can, if I can figure out how this works. I will say one experience I've had as a vegan is when I tell people that, or they find out, some people will say, oh, that must be why you're so skinny. And it kind of annoys me because it's not the reason. When I was a meat eater at 20 years old, I was 120 pounds, and now I'm 150 pounds. and I think healthier and stronger. And the real reason I'm skinny is because I have a very petite mother, and it's just genetic. And honestly, that gives me sympathy for people who are overweight and obese, because I don't think I could get obese if I tried. And I know that that's due to my genetics. It's not due to any virtue of mine. Error, okay? Maybe I put this on wrong. Okay, 115 over 76 with a pulse of 63. My pulse tends to go between like 50 and 65 at rest. And 115 over 76 is, I'm pretty sure, optimal. For a idyllic wilderness disc golf course, sure is a lot of noise here. That is a passenger jet up above us, heading into PDX. I recently rode a passenger jet, a few of them. Went to Hawaii for 10 days, had an amazing time. I love Oregon, but island life is pretty nice, I gotta say. I know it's the vacation effect, like you'd see more of the problems with the place if you lived there, but damn, I had a good time. Okay, speaking of sucking at disc golf, diet is a very emotional topic for so many people. It's something that we do every day. You know, we eat every single day. We grow up eating certain foods. We have an emotional attachment to those foods. They comfort us. They represent the love of our parents or our family. And it's very difficult to let go of the way that we eat. You know, you grow up eating one way. Most people will continue to eat that way. Some will see that it's causing them consequences and make changes. But as we can see in the statistics about health and obesity and everything, type 2 diabetes here in the US and the Western world, most people haven't really changed their ways yet. I know there are more factors at play than just what you eat, but in my experience, that's the largest factor that we have control over, right? We don't have control over what genes we were born with, but we do have control over how we eat. To a certain degree. Of course, if you're very poor, you have more limited options, but in my experience, honestly, that's an excuse more than a reason most of the time. Some of the cheapest foods available are whole food, plant-based items like brown rice, bananas, oats, nuts, other grains. Here we go again. Thank you. Anyway, some guys, especially guys, tie their masculinity to the eating of meat or to being at the top of the food chain like they earned their way there. I tie my masculinity to how good I am at disc golf, so today I feel like an 8-year-old boy. Okay. Oh, I can't. Oh, I suck so much today. Oh, I am a strong person. I'm grateful for the life that I have. I stay calm under duress. I am okay at disc golf. All right, no offense, but after I wrap this up, I'm gonna leave you behind. I'm gonna go play another round and see if I can get my shiznaz together. I think you're dragging me down, you're distracting me. I tend to start getting myself confused when I start talking about masculinity and femininity. I start listing traits that I associate with one, and then I realize, well, I admire that in the other gender as well. But masculinity to me, like men that I respect, are men who stand up for what is right, are men who protect those weaker than themselves, are men who are not afraid to stand against the status quo and the rest of society. Everyone else is telling them this is the way it should be, and he stands up and says, no, I see with my own eyes, I feel with my own heart, and I disagree with how everyone else is doing things. I don't think it's right. And that's why I respect the masculinity of men who can see how wrong it is that we're abusing animals and abusing the earth, all to feed 8 billion people meat, dairy, and eggs and fish, when it's not even benefiting them. It's killing them slowly, giving them chronic diseases. Now, rationality in diet is a very hard thing to acquire. Even in other topics, most people are not rational. We like to think of ourselves as objective, as rational, as able to see the facts and make decisions in line with those facts. But the truth is that pretty much everyone, myself included, we have an emotional attachment to a position. And because there are rational arguments to be made for any position, we cling on to the rational arguments that already align with the position that we're emotionally attached to. There are so many jets. Now, I will claim to be a bit better about this than other people, because I wasn't born a vegan. I was born and raised to eat meat, to eat animal products, and I was proud of it. I was everything that I'm talking about now. I associated my masculinity with it. I was proud to like cut and prepare meat when other people in my cooking class in high school, for instance, were too squeamish to do so. And I felt like it was our natural place as humans to be at the top of the food chain like that. And yet I was able to be open enough to the arguments against it that I decided, okay, I'm gonna try to live life without eating meat, without eating other animal products. And I felt great. I did it for like 6 months. I was feeling great. I decided I'm gonna get one steak fajita dinner and see if I'm missing anything, see if I can live without this. I ate it and I realized all the things that I really like about this are like the flavors, the spices, the sauces. I can have that without the meat. And ever since, 15 years, been without any animal products. And I still feel great. And maybe I'll fall over dead one day because of my plant-based diet, but I think it would have happened by now. Or at least I would have seen signs of my health declining. And that's why it's so important to look rationally at this topic. And that's why I wanted to make today's video, looking at the data that I have from this recent comprehensive blood test and other metrics that I can get to see cold hard facts. Am I doing okay? And I'm doing okay. I saw a meme the other day. It was like, after 1 week being a vegan, this is amazing. Everyone loves animals, so once they realize that you don't need to eat animal products to live, everyone I know is gonna go vegan. Yes. After 3 months being vegan, people suck. People don't give a shit about animals. They only care about their own comfort and sense of self-righteousness. But that's a video for another day. If I've green pilled you today, if you're gonna try a plant-based diet, go vegan, why don't you allow me to orange pill you as well? Check out this video about Bitcoin, where I tried to orange pill my own parents.